Subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and never miss an update from Latestly.
Brother, you're the first person in the entire dockets of interviews that I've given who's actually asked me such a sensible question. I think every moment spent in that house was my best moment. My father did a very wrong thing.
Possibly they could win the show are.
So, the fun. I'm glad you brought this topic up.
Actually, good to see you that you are out of the house so that we can do this interview, this chit chat. But not so good, a great news because we wanted to see your journey more inside the house rather than outside of it. So, in that
That's
sense, it's
very
kind of
sweet.
mixed. It's kind of mixed feeling. But yeah, the kind of I cannot say the image that you projected, but who you were inside the house was noteworthy. Was really noteworthy. What do you have to say on that? On that, first of all.
I need to read the contents of the note that you're mentioning to be noteworthy, and then I can comment on it. So I think
You're
you should
playing
give
on
me some more
words.
insight about what you think about me.
Jan, it's my job to play on words. Now you're assuming that role, which
I
is
know.
great.
But I've just come out of Bigg Boss, right? I've learned how to play with words and I've learned a few things. So I'd
Absolutely.
like to apply this to daily life.
Okay. What is the best part about being inside the house? As you're saying that you have learned quite a few things. What's the best part about being, being a part of Bigg Boss?
I think every minute that you spend inside the Bigg Boss house is by far the best part of the journey because once you enter that the set, no, the first greeting that you have, it's that big eye,
Hmm.
the eye of Bigg Boss, and that realization sort of hits you that the show you've been watching on television for so many years, you're in it, you're in the Bigg Boss house. So right from the first step inside the house till the time you leave that house, I think every moment spent in that house was my best moment because this sheer realization that I'm in the Bigg Boss house compensates for anything and everything that has happened inside the house, honestly. So I think the entire journey was something absolutely fabulous.
To be very honest with you, I did not even know you by face, but when I saw you on television, your presence was there. You were neat, your emotions were stable, you look like a sane headed person, level headed person, but somehow the conversations about you outside the house was revolving more about your personal life, your equation with your father, and your personal, unban hai, kuch nahi hai. Does that make you feel sad? Does that make you feel नहीं यार मेरे बारे में बात करो rather than talking about my personal equations with my family members?
Brother, you're the first person in the entire dockets of interviews that I've given who's actually asked me such a sensible question. I want to applaud you for that and I want to recognize that for this. Thank you for asking me this question. I did feel very disheartened, I'll be very honest, because the kind of game I played in the house, the reason that people know me across the entire country and the world now is Bigg Boss. So people have deviated from that entire subject and asked me questions about my personal life, about my equations with whomsoever it is that has raised a question or a concern or any kind of statement. And they have forgotten the fact that the reason that you know me, it is Bigg Boss. So if you could focus yourself onto that aspect of my career and my beginning, the beginning of my career, I think it would be very great. And I could probably share much more insight then because it is not my dad or my mom who's gone into Bigg Boss. It is me who's gone into Bigg Boss. It is me who stayed there for 7 weeks. So if you would focus on me, it would be very good because at the end of the day, after feeling sad for a point of time, you just stop giving comments on such things because you know what they're trying to get from you and the kind of reactions that they want to get out of you so that they can make tomorrow's headlines.
Right.
That's not my cup of tea now. So I wouldn't want
Jan,
to
more
comment
than
on.
what was worse was that it was becoming more of a tennis game. It was more of a tennis match. You were saying something from
That
inside the house, from alag perspective altogether, from the kind of situations and the encounters you had inside the house. He was talking on the base of, and to be very honest with you, there were some valid comments as well. He said, whatever Rahul Vaidya said, your father, I'm bringing him in because this is a positive, fairly positive comment that he made. That Rahul Vaidya is like he's my son's age. He's like son to me. So I want Jan and Rahul to come together. They should work as a team, as a unit, rather than focusing on their differences, which was also positive comment, which did not get highlighted. I must tell you that as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I've
उस
read
लिहाज
this.
से
I've actually read this.
उस लिहाज से कुछ चीजें पॉजिटिव हुई भी, शायद वो उतनी हाईलाइट नहीं हुई क्योंकि नेगेटिव चीजें ज्यादा हाईलाइट होती हैं. तो आपका प्रेजेंस दिखा ही, जैसे मैंने बोला कि there was no question of upbringing, because whatever people can see, they see the energy. So your energy was positive. As I said, you came across as a very very sensible person. So ये सारी चीजें हुई, तो उसके बाद कहीं ना कहीं जहन में ऐसा हुआ कि होता है ना, आदमी शेक हो जाता है किस तौर एक लेवल पर. So how did you
Yeah.
overcome that? How was that a challenge for you? How did you overcome that?
You know, the fact that you said right now, जो portray हुआ screen पे, that I came across as a very level-headed, sane person. This has been one of the biggest factors for which I've been able to overcome whatever has been said and spoken about, against, and for me. Like, the entire episode that you just dictated. When you put yourself out on a pedestal for the entire country to see you, speculate about you, and judge you, and your report comes clean, and people say that you've probably been one of the most real contestants in the Bigg Boss game season ever. I don't think that anybody raising a question on that makes it a valid point, because जब full देश ही मेरी तारीफ कर रहा है, मेरे बारे में इतना अच्छा लिखा जा रहा है, I'm overwhelmed, I'm grateful, because these are the few things that I actually had in mind that I wanted to portray, and they got portrayed, they got accepted by the people, and they loved it. When those people, so many billions and millions and billions of people, are actually praising my upbringing, my father did a very wrong thing by saying that question जो उन्होंने उठाया मेरे upbringing पे, because first and foremost वही वीडियो में उन्होंने ये भी बोला है कि 27 years से he's not been with my family. And the funny part here is that I am 26. I am 26 years old, and he has been away from my family at 27. So he and my mom parted ways when I was in my mom's tummy, and since then my parents has always been my mom. मतलब मेरे जो माता पिता का जो टैग है ना, वो मेरी मॉम ही रही है, because dad has never been around. And if you've never been around for the upbringing of your own child, I don't think it's right for you to ask questions and raise questions and doubts, because when the whole world is praising your child for what a solid upbringing that he's had. But I saw the next video also that he posted the next day apparently, which he was all praises for me. And he told my mom also so many good things. She's brought him up very solidly and everything. I don't know if you've seen that video.
Yes. Yes.
Because he praised me also in the next video. So this is a very big question mark in my head. Ki, what exactly was your agenda? What did you want to achieve by posting one video
Clearly, Jan, hold on a minute. Clearly, he had mixed feelings about you. He was not particularly happy about the fact that you were entering the house, but audiences were really applauding you for who you were. I think he somehow failed to see that part, and everything, the negativity got highlighted, and he made a comment or two on the same, which must have affected you. So going forward, is there image correction that is going in your head? Going forward, is there any course correction that is going on in your head?
I don't think there is an image correction that's required, to be honest, because I think from the start till the end of the Bigg Boss game that I was in, I did not change. मैंने अगर धोखे भी खाए तो ओपनली, मैंने अगर दोस्ती भी की तो ओपनली, मैंने अगर strategies भी बनाए तो I think this is one funny thing that happened with me, the whole regarding the Nikki and captaincy task. I am so bad at backbiting people and talking behind their back, that the one time that I planned it, I didn't even execute it. Yeah, planned it and I got busted. I got caught. एंड मेरे को इतना हंसी आया, क्योंकि मेरे को दिमाग में ये चल रहा था कि यार तू प्लानिंग भी सही से नहीं कर सकता, ये बैक बाइटिंग का शो है, इसमें सब डबल गेम खेल रहे हैं, एंड तूने ट्राई किया एंड तू पकड़ा गया, कैसा गधा है तू. मतलब दिस वाज व्हाट वाज गोइंग ऑन इन माय माइंड. आई फाउंड इट वेरी हिलेरियस, but now that I look back on it, I'm very glad that I did not go into that way, because that became my USP, that became my uniqueness, and that was exactly what I wanted to portray to the world, that I am how I am, and I've stayed the way that I have. So there is no image correction, I think, that's required. There is just one thing in my head now, and that is just to go out there and kill it with my work, entertain my fans, that I can call my fans, because that's another thing that I've got from the Bigg
And with
Boss
the
house.
solid support, with the able support of Salman Khan himself, who would like to sit down with you at leisurely pace and discuss things with you. What a compliment that was.
I think that was the high of my entire journey in the Bigg Boss house, because I think Salman sir has not said this to anybody. As far as I know, he's never said this to anybody. And the fact that he said that to me, it was a dream come true. And the day I get to work with him, oh my God. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go completely nuts, because I've been a Salman sir fan since very, very small. The first movie that I saw in theaters was Hello Brother. And the entry scene where Salman sir comes in wearing that red jumpsuit, I've just stood up on my seat and I've watched the entire film standing up on my seat. Like, people have abused me from behind. Kya ho gaya? Pagal ho gaya? Baith ja niche. And I've not paid attention because, I've seen Salman sir on the big screen. So that was definitely the highest moment for me in the game. And I
Inside
want to.
inside the house, kiske saath zyada bani? See, someone like Ijaz, many people said that he's like a snake that you should not keep in a backyard because he's not going
Hmm,
to bite just the neighbors. He's sometimes, who never knows. I mean, he
hmm,
can bite you as well. तो ये जो
yeah.
इमेज थी इनकी सांप की, आप तो उनके साथ काफी ज्यादा फ्रेंडली थे. इनफैक्ट यू ट्रीट हिम लाइक योर एल्डर ब्रदर, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. सो
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
आपके दोस्त कौन थे और कौन से ऐसे शख्स थे जिनके से थोड़ा दूर रहना चाहिए उनसे?
आई थिंक दूर रहने वाली लिस्ट बहुत लंबी है.
टॉप 3.
टॉप 3 बंदे जिनसे आपको दूर रहना चाहिए. दूर रहना चाहिए आपको. जैस्मिन, अली, एंड द थर्ड नेम आई वुड टेक वुड बी रुबीना.
ओके. और ये 3 क्यों?
बिकॉज
एक एक सेंटेंस में बता पाएंगे आप क्विकली?
हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल. जैस्मिन, आई थिंक I felt that Jasmine's been fake since the beginning. एंड वो बात बहुत खुल के सामने आई जब अली आ गया घर में. आप लोग ने देखा ही होगा, nobody's personality can take that much of a change if you're claiming, मैं रियल हूँ शुरू से आप क्लेम कर रहे हो, एंड फिर आपने ऐसा पलटा. तो उस कारण से आई थिंक जासमिन से मैं दूर रहूंगा. दूसरा नाम मैंने लिया है अली का. अली से मैं इसलिए दूर रहूंगा क्योंकि अली इज अ वेरी 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 स्मार्ट प्लेयर. He will sell the ground from underneath your feet and you will compliment him for doing so. He is that good a player. अली ने इतना दोस्ती और भाईचारा का नारा मेरे साथ लगाकर बाहर आने के बाद, जब मैंने तो एंड तक when I was getting eliminated, when I was going out of the house, I held on to Ali and I told him, भाई तू बहुत अच्छा इंसान है. एंड बाहर आने के बाद जब मैंने वो चीजें देखी, आई वाज लाइक, ओ माय गॉड, वाओ, ही प्लेड मी टिल आई गॉट आउट ऑफ द हाउस आल्सो. मुझे कभी शक ही नहीं हुआ अली पे, एंड ही डिड प्ले मी. सो आई वुड डेफिनेटली स्टे अवे फ्रॉम अली, एंड आई वुड स्टे अवे फ्रॉम रुबीना because there is a side of Rubina that I am sure we've not seen yet. I have seen that side multiple times in tasks and occasionally in the normal runnings of the house. And that side is a very, very unstable, angry Rubina, which she tries to,
Suppress.
उसको suppress करने की बहुत कोशिश करती है रुबीना. एंड मुझे ये पता नहीं है साइड क्या है. एंड 7वें हफ्ते में 8वें हफ्ते में आकर भी उन्होंने सक्सेसफुली इस साइड को दबा के रखा है. So I think I would stay away from Rubina.
3 people on the account of positivity and warmth, and therefore possibly they could win the show are?
Ejaz Bhai, Pavitra and Rahul.
These 3 people. I'm sure,
Yeah.
Jan, you must have learned the tricks of the trade. You know how human emotions and how complicated they get inside the house. And yet you have been quite forgiving. And you have come out with loads of positivity. Are you going to apply the same lessons with your personal life as well, especially with your father?
I'm going to apply a lot of these things, experiences that I've learned from the Bigg Boss house, but not with my father, because he doesn't come in that category wherein, the skills that I've learned in the house, they don't specifically apply to my relation with my father, because the kind of stuff I've learned in the house is not to trust people easily. That's one of the first lessons. And I think you guys have seen it outside that, I
No,
have
I'm
this
saying
habit of.
positive influences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So positives में ही बोल रहा हूँ. I want people to earn my trust. I don't want to give it away for free. So that's one thing I've learned.
Wow,
Positives में I
that's
think
a
the
statement you
first.
have made. That's a statement you have
Yeah.
made. Yeah.
I want people to earn my trust because I've given it away very easily in the house and I've repented for it. So that's one thing that I've learned. Positives. My timetable has changed. Yeah, that's one of the most positive things that's happened to me in the Big Boss house, because during this lockdown, it was just chaotic. Nobody even saw the watch. Like we were like, "Kabhi bhi उठ रहा हूँ मैं, कभी भी कुछ भी कर रहा हूँ." But that is something that I've actually learned. And the most important thing that I've learned in the Big Boss house, value. I've learned how to value a lot of things which otherwise मैं कभी नहीं ध्यान देता उन चीजों पे. I'll give you a few examples. Food, water, help, domestic help जो हमारे करते हैं, उनको मैंने कितना अंडर वैल्यू किया था, ये मुझे बिग बॉस के घर में जाके सीखने को मिला है. बिकॉज उधर हमने अपने कपड़े धोए हैं, बर्तन धोए हैं, लिविंग रूम का झाड़ू पोछा, हर जगह की साफ सफाई, गार्डन साफ करना, पूल साफ करना, cleaning the washrooms. Everything we've done there has taught me the value of domestic help. एंड खाने की कीमत मुझे बहुत ज्यादा पता चली, बिकॉज वहां पर बहुत बार खाने को लेकर झगड़े होते थे. किसी को शायद कम खाना होता था या किसी को ज्यादा. एक एक दाने चावल का मुझे कीमत उस घर में पता चला है, बिकॉज हमें उन चावल के दानों के लिए लड़ना झगड़ना पड़ा है. तो आई विल, एंड वेस्टिंग फूड इज समथिंग दैट आई डोंट थिंक आई विल एवर डू इन माई लाइफ. आई नेवर वेस्टेड फूड इन माई लाइफ अगेन. हमारे घर पे जो खाना बनता है एकदम करेक्ट अमाउंट में बनता है. बट अभी मैं उस चीज को एनफोर्स करूंगा दूसरों पे, क्योंकि हमको पता है लिमिटेड सप्लाई में से जब चीजें वेस्ट होती है तो अगले दिन आपको वो चीज नहीं मिलती. ये मैंने एक्सपीरियंस किया है. सो बहुत कीमत मुझे चीजों की पता चली है.
Jan, the articulate person that you are and the way you express yourself, you have tremendous hold over the language you speak. But जब language का मामला आता है वहां थोड़ी गड़बड़ हो गई, especially the language of Marathi. So did that happen in the heat of the moment? Had it been any other language, you would have acted the same way because you could not comprehend anything that quickly. Was that the case?
So the fun, I'm glad you brought this topic up. जो आप लोग को दिखाया गया वो फुटेज मैंने देखा, ये जो मराठी भाषा को लेकर हुई, हाफ हो गया था वो कट. मैंने पूरी बात ये कही थी. ओके, तो मैं आप लोगों को एक पहले छोटा सा बैकग्राउंड दे देता हूँ बिग बॉस के घर में क्या होता है. नियम अनुसार बिग बॉस के घर में सिर्फ हिंदी भाषा का ही प्रयोग करने को कहा जाता है हमें. तो हम कोई भी भाषा में अगर बात करें, इंग्लिश, मराठी, गुजराती, बंगाली, एनी अदर लैंग्वेज जो हिंदी नहीं है, उस बात पे हमें एक रिमाइंडर आता है, हमें टोका जाता है कि बिग बॉस के घर में सिर्फ हिंदी भाषा का ही प्रयोग करें. मैंने जो वाक्य कही थी वो ये कही थी कि यार मराठी भाषा से मुझे चिढ़ हो रही है क्योंकि बिग बॉस अभी वापस से अनाउंसमेंट करेंगे. दिस वॉज माई फुल सेंटेंस एंड आई हैड सेड इट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू बिग बॉस, बिकॉज हमारे सुबह से कम 30 से 40 बार वो अनाउंसमेंट हो चुका था कि यार हिंदी में बात करना है, हिंदी में बात करना है, हिंदी में बात करना है. एंड इसके लिए वी बिन शाउटेड एट ऑल्सो बाय बिग बॉस. हमें डांट पड़ी है ये चीजों के लिए बिग बॉस से. तो मैंने उस एंगल में बोला था कि मुझे अभी इससे चिढ़ हो रही है क्योंकि बिग बॉस फिर अनाउंसमेंट करेंगे, मगर वो पहले ही कट गया. एंड
आपके जहन में ये सवाल नहीं आया ये इन्होंने क्यों काट दिया? ये तो कंट्रोवर्सी क्रिएशन का मामला है. ये तो आपको नेगेटिव एट योर एक्सपेंस प्रोडक्शन हाउस इस पर खेल रहा है. उनको पता है कि ये मुद्दा हो सकता है और कंट्रोवर्सी क्रिएट की जा रही है.
आई डोंट थिंक इतना इस पे किसी ने थॉट दिया रहेगा, बिकॉज हमें ना घर के अंदर मुझे बिल्कुल भी आइडिया नहीं था कि बाहर इतना बड़ा कुछ हो चुका है. I was made to, in a very subtle manner, in a very stable and subtle manner, I was made to apologize. तो तब मुझे कुछ हिंट आया, कि मे बी बाहर बहुत कुछ ऐसा हो रहा होगा कि पब्लिक अपॉलॉजी करना पड़ रहा है मुझे. तो मे बी देयर इज समथिंग दैट इज गॉन आउट ऑफ हैंड. बट जब मैं बाहर आया और जो चीजें मुझे सुनने को मिली, उसके बाद मुझे ये क्लैरिफिकेशन देना जरूर बनता है, बिकॉज मैंने मराठी में बहुत गाने गाए हैं. मैं पला बड़ा मुंबई में हूँ. आज मैं जो एक वक्त का खाना भी खा रहा हूँ वो मुझे महाराष्ट्रियंस की वजह से ही मिला है, बिकॉज बॉलीवुड इज हियर. माय डैड हैज अर्न्ड हिज एंटायर करियर बिकॉज ऑफ मुंबई. तो मुझे मराठी भाषा से क्यों चिढ़ होगी? मुझे बिग बॉस के उस अनाउंसमेंट से चिढ़ थी, क्योंकि हम ऑलरेडी रेड जोन में थे और हमारा दिमाग है ना ऑलरेडी बहुत तना हुआ रहता है. तो मैंने बोला कि वापस से अनाउंसमेंट होगा यार, तुम लोग को सुबह से बोल रहे बिग बॉस, व्हाई आर टॉकिंग इन मराठी, प्लीज टॉक इन हिंदी. उस चीज को जो कट के दिखाया गया, दैट वाज रॉन्ग. एंड उसके लिए मैं फिर से सारे मेरे मराठी भाइयों और बहनों को अपोलोजाइज करूंगा कि मेरा
नहीं,
ये इंटेंशन
जान
नहीं
जान,
था.
hold. I mean, ये आप apologize कर रहे हो, but don't you think it was insensitive on the part of the production house as well? कि उन्हें पता था ये insensitive topic है, इसको उछाला जाएगा तो काफी लोगों के sentiments hurt होंगे. तो ये वो आराम से this could have been edited out, and yet it was kept and it was shown on national television. So what is your final comment on that?
I think I genuinely, brother, I'm telling you, I'm very, very कच्चा नींबू when it comes to all this. Because मेरा लाइफ का फर्स्ट रियलिटी शो बिग बॉस कर रहा हूँ मैं, तो आप समझ ही लो मेरी कितनी मतलब स्मार्टनेस है इन चीजों में. बट मैं आपको सामने से एक चीज बोलूंगा, आई डोंट थिंक द चैनल थॉट दिस थ्रू. आई डोंट थिंक दैट द चैनल थॉट कि इस पे बहुत बड़ा इशू बनेगा. वरना आई डोंट थिंक वॉलंटरीली कोई अपने ऊपर इतना बड़ा एक ब्लेम. बिकॉज सिर्फ मैं ब्लेम किया नहीं गया था, जहां तक मैंने सुना चैनल पर भी बहुत उंगलियां उठी थी कि हाउ कैन यू प्रमोट दिस काइंड ऑफ स्टफ एंड एवरीथिंग. तो आई डोंट थिंक द चैनल थॉट दिस थ्रू. एंड उन्होंने जस्ट एडिट करके मे बी पोस्ट कर दिया होगा. इस पे इतना थॉट दिया नहीं रहेगा. दिस इज वन ऑफ दोज थिंग्स जिस पे आप थॉट नहीं देते हो बट वो बात बहुत बड़ी बन जाती है. एंड वंस मे बी दे डिड गेट दिस इशू एड्रेस, तब शायद उनको ये रियलाइज भी हुआ होगा कि मे बी हमने गलत कर दिया और समथिंग. एंड मैंने अपोलोजाइज तो किया ही था. आई थिंक द चैनल ऑल्सो इशूड एन अपॉलॉजी टू द एंटायर महाराष्ट्रन फ्रेटर्निटी. तो आई थिंक उन्होंने भी अपोलोजाइज किया बिकॉज आई डोंट थिंक इतना इस पे सोचा रहेगा किसी ने. बट ये बात थोड़ा गलत वे में ले लिया गया.
Jan, you really made a mark with your journey, with your presence inside the house. As I've been saying, that you were absolutely, there was no question about your upbringing. Your energy was warm, and the mistakes that you make, of course, you clarified them in your own unique way, with your own personality and with your articulate personality that you are. Thank you so much for your time. Hopefully that you will start a new journey, a journey forward that will be full of excitement, enthusiasm, and energy that we have been watching inside the Bigg Boss's house. And hopefully to see you soon in person, not on Zoom call
Yes,
someday.
absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It was great fun. I actually had fun talking to you, brother, because I was vibing with you on a really nice level. And continue to do what you guys do, and please give me your support and blessings because I'm starting on a very, very big journey, and that's my musical career. I need you guys to support me and give me all your blessings. So please keep me in your blessings as well.
Always, always. Thank you so much. All the best.
Take care, brother. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Take care.